scene. Again, if you're just joining us, what you're looking at now is a live picture of the Rockville Central Station. It's on fire as a result of an explosion that just occurred a few minutes ago. We currently have Eyewitness News crews on the way to the scene as we speak.
That's right, Tom, and we don't have any extent on any injuries at this time, no word on if there was anyone inside that building during that blast, and the cause of this explosion is still unknown. This all started just a short while ago. You can clearly see how the fire just continues to burn out of control.
We can only hope that there was nobody in the buildings when this happened, or that no one was significantly hurt by this explosion. We did mention to you earlier in this newscast that the building was actually closed due to flooding inside, but workers were in the building draining the flooded waters that were on the tracks.
And definitely, Tom, this is an extremely serious situation and just adds to the problems that the city is already facing at this hour because, as you know, that area of Rockville City is currently without power. In fact, 45% of the city is without power, including the Rockville World Trade Center. Police and fire officials have yet to even arrive at the scene because you can only imagine how busy they are helping other people in the area that are in need of their help. We can now say that this is now the second time in which this particular building has been involved in a dramatic emergency situation.
Indeed, Shaun. We all remember that just a little over a year ago in January 2006, the 4 college students who were killed in this building, they were intentionally pushed onto the tracks of an oncoming train. The murderer, Kennedy Cox, had jumped in and kind of locked himself down onto those teenagers so that they would not escape. The train was unable to stop, and they were all run over and killed instantly.
Yeah, Tom, and that day was truly a gruesome and sad day for everyone in the city. And for that very reason, the Central Station had gone through extensive renovations over the past summer to improve its safety on its tracks. Again, we want to let you know that this explosion had happened just a few minutes ago. No word on any injuries or casualties. The fire is still burning out of control. We are working diligently on ways to communicate with Jason Evers, who is in Air 2 HD hovering over this massive fire.
Now you can clearly see the very dark smoke and the raging fire at this point, so this can only mean that this is not going to be an easy fire to fight. Firefighters still have not arrived on scene. We have Eyewitness News reporters Tanya Cohen and Mary Riff both headed towards the area as we speak.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are times in our lives that are always trying, but this is one of those times where we must stop what we are doing and we should just sit down and thank fate or even God, for those who are religious, that this building was closed and flooded, because my goodness, had this building been open, we could have been talking about massive casualties.
Without a doubt, Shaun, we really dodged a bullet here because at any given hour of the day, the minimum amount of passengers who would have been here at or near the central station is estimated to be at least 500 people, so we really did dodge a bullet.
Indeed, Tom. Okay, we are getting a phone call now from Tanya Cohen, who is on the way to the central station, and she is joining us live on her, is it her cell phone? Okay, yes, it's her cell phone. Tanya Cohen, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Shaun.
Okay, Tanya, that's good to hear. You are obviously on ground level. Can you tell us what you see?
Well, I am currently in the news van, and Charlie is driving as quickly and carefully as he can to get to the scene. The problem is that many roads are actually blocked by police, so we are trying to find alternate routes to get to Central Station. But what I can see now is the thick black smoke coming from the area, and I can smell it as well. The odor of the smoke is very strong and pungent, and it's filling up the damp sky rapidly. I also see paramedics and emergency officials rushing their way to the area now. There's just so much chaos at this hour.
We can only imagine how chaotic this situation is, Tanya. Have you gotten any word yet from anyone as to exactly what happened here?
All I was told was that there was an explosion at the central station and that the building is now on fire. We do know that the building was actually closed when this had happened, and we can now confirm that there were no passengers in the train station, because the station was actually closed due to flooding of the tracks from the heavy rain that we had earlier today. Unfortunately, there were workers inside removing water from those flooded tracks.
Indeed, and thank goodness that the train station was actually closed. Tanya, one question. Were you able to speak to any train operators or any officials who actually witnessed the explosion?
I was not able to locate anyone who had witnessed the explosion or had actually seen what exactly caused the explosion. I think it is just too early to tell what exactly had happened.
Okay, thank you, Tanya. Get there safely, okay?
I will try my best, Shaun. I will talk to you soon.
And that was Tanya Cohen live on the phone. She'll give us another live report once she arrives at the scene, and we're now getting official word that the Rockville World Trade Center has been locked down and shut down until further notice. This was sent to us through City Hall, and we also have word that Midtown Avenue is now closed and shut down at the World Trade Center intersection and beyond. Mary Riff was the closest Eyewitness News reporter in the area when the explosion occurred just moments ago.
Indeed, Tom, and she is okay. She was not hurt by the blast and is actually gathering information to present to us shortly. So we are going to take a quick break. When we return, Mary Riff and Tanya Cohen will be at the Central Station and will give us the full detail as to what has caused this explosion. So stay with us. We're coming right back.
True beauty is more than skin deep. The Mercedes-Benz E-Class. Perhaps the most beautiful car in the world.
Singular has been raising the bar. Now, by building a company where everything works together for the way you live, AT&T is raising it even higher. Singular.
You're watching SBN 2 Rockville.
Welcome back to Eyewitness News at 11. If you're just joining us, what you're looking at right now is a live shot from Air 2 HD. As you can see, Rockville Central Station is currently on fire due to a major explosion at the northeastern corner of the building.
No word on any injuries, and we still do not know the cause of this explosion. Unfortunately, we do know that workers were inside the building, as we had reported to you earlier, whom were trying to drain floodwaters that rose on the tracks due to the heavy rains that fell earlier today.
Okay, I'm being told now that we have a way to retrieve Jason's signal through another transmission tower, and so we can now communicate with Jason Evers. And Jason, do you know anything at this point that we don't know?
Tom and Shaun, this was indeed an explosion. We have official report from the Rockville Police Department and the Rockville Transit Authority that this was a major explosion that has rocked the Rockville Central Station, causing this major fire. The cause of the explosion is still not known at this point. Unfortunately, we do have confirmation now that there were indeed workers inside of this building when this blast had occurred. We do not know the conditions of these workers. Overall, the details are still very sketchy. What you were looking at now is the building that just continues to burn. Firefighters have arrived and they are now inside the building trying to see if this blaze can be extinguished. You can see clearly the huge gaping hole where fires are coming out of. The fire just continues to billow out of this building. Had this been a high-rise building, this would have been a very difficult fire to fight, which is why the mayor has shut down and locked down the Rockville World Trade Center. For now, we're going to continue to pan around this area throughout the broadcast. Should this situation get worse, we will bring it to you immediately. We will also bring you new information as soon as we receive it. For now, we're live above Midtown at the burning Rockville Central Station. Jason Evers, SBN 2 Eyewitness News.
Jason, thank you. We now have an eyewitness caller who is on the phone who has saw this explosion.